Tua Tagovailoa. He knew this game was over before it ever started. He knew it was over. The Dolphins playing in Buffalo on a short week. He knew the Dolphins didn't stand a chance. Let's check it out.
Dude, he's top tier. If it's not with his arm, it's with his legs. That dude can do literally anything he wants. So, definitely different skill set for me. I can't do half of what he does when it comes to running the ball and any of that. And then with how he can just chuck a ball down the field, with how far and the arm strength that he has, he's supreme when it comes to that. So it's gonna be fun.
Supreme
to see him, get to play him again. We'll see.
He's supreme with that arm strength and chunking the ball down the field. That lets you know Tua is obsessed with Josh Allen's arm, because he has a water pistol for arm. He ain't, when he tried to get the ball deep tonight to Tyreek Hill, he put every ounce of strength in that ball he possibly could. Tua can only probably throw 50 yards. I told y'all that. 55, 60 yards. 50 yards is his max, man. I'm telling you, Tua cannot get the ball down the field. But Tua was genuinely speaking about his abilities compared to Josh Allen's. As you can hear. You hear loud and clear. You hear the excitement in Tua's voice to tell everyone how much better Josh Allen is than himself. You can hear it. Oh, man, that guy, he can chunk the ball down the field. He has the most amazing arm I ever seen of them all. He can throw the ball 2 times as far as I can throw the ball. He can rotate. He can roll out right. Throw it 50 yards. I can roll out left and throw it 20, but he can throw it 50. We don't have a chance this week, guys.
That's what he basically said, man.
Basically. But you know what? Nobody can complain. I can't complain about Tua this week. Nobody can really complain about Tua. Tua played with his heart, man. He played with his heart tonight. He competed like he was supposed to. He left everything on the field tonight. There's no complaints about Tua, except for that weak ass arm, like I talked about, barely being able to push the ball deep down the field, and ultimately figuring out how to win the game at the end of the game. Reese, that pretty much is Tua in a nutshell. Figure out how to win the game.
Recently, what's crazy that he said that this week, because last week, remember, he was like, I was talking to Tyreek Hill, and I told him, like, I can't throw the ball that far down the field. And now this week, he talked about how Josh Allen can. And we saw it on the field today, missing Tyreek a few times, open on the sideline down the field, in between in the hole and everything like that. Like, man, those completions are big completions that should have been first downs.
Yeah, man. It's like he's obsessed with that arm, man. Everybody wants what they can't have, man. Everybody wants what they can't have. He's good at getting the ball out quick, Mr. 1, 2, 3. He just wasn't blessed with that big arm. But if you had that big arm, things would be a lot different. So I know when you see Josh Allen throwing that ball and launching it left and right, 70 and 80 yards down the field, it makes him feel like, I want to do that. I wish I can do that, man. Where's my mom and dad to bless me with this type of arm, all jokes, man. Just joking, man. Just having a good time, man. Thursday night vibes, man. Shout out to the chat. Shout out to Tim Laurie. Shout out to B. Williams in the building, man. Miami Dolphin fans, man. Still hope alive. Seen a little slight change in the morality and the energy and the leadership. It looks like something may have changed a little bit. They were talking about Mike McDaniels holding his players a little more accountable and things like that around the facilities, making sure players are on time to meetings, whereas compared to before, the report just came out that Jalen Ramsey was a problem. He wasn't respecting authority. I called it out before anyone. I told y'all that. I can see that from a mile away. And instead of running away from these players now and thinking let's trade them and get rid of them, I think they're stepping up to the challenge. Is it a little too late? Who knows? Mike McDaniels, in my eyes, man, would be an awesome offensive coordinator. If he had a nice head coach, a really good head coach who can be a great leader and lead him and make him hold himself accountable along with his offense and things like that, provide that discipline that he can't give, I think Mike McDaniels would be an awesome offensive coordinator. Yeah, I would hire him to be my offensive coordinator, but not my head coach.
Listen, man, if they lose to the Jets next week, That's what you're gonna see him next year as an offensive coordinator.
I don't know, man, because I was just listening to reports from Ian Rappaport talk about Stephen Ross, the owner of the Miami Dolphins. He is so invested in, he is pretty much all in with Mike McDaniels, and there is no intimate conversations or anything brewing about him possibly being fired. This is basically too early to have the conversation about Mike McDaniels being fired, even though they're 0-3, and Miami Dolphin fans are furious. So it lets me know that something is going on behind the scenes, whether it's money, whether it's someone has something dangling over someone's head, or whatever the issue may be. But this doesn't make no sense for. Even if you decide to stick with Mike McDaniels as the head coach, then you have to do something with the X factor, which is Tua. Like I said, I see y'all in the chat. Go get that 2nd round pick. Go get that 3rd round pick. If there's anyone out there that's willing to trade for Tua, I don't see if it is, or I don't see no one willing to do it, because Tua is very limited in his abilities, as you can see tonight. He isn't able to push the ball down the field. A lot of those passes are 10 yards and shorter. And that's when he's most efficient. But you have to have that special offensive coordinator that can build that type of offense and keep designing those plays week in and week out for Tua to be successful. That's what it takes for him.
Yeah, you call him Mr. 1, 2, 3, and every time you saw the day after that 1, 2, 3, he get knocked off. He didn't know what to do with the ball. He missed open throws. It's like
he don't know what to do.
So I don't think there's no other teams excited to want to make a trade and pick up that contract to go get him. Like,
no way, And the fun thing about sports and football, competition, and all these things that has to go along with sports, right? Particularly football. Any given Sunday, man, the worst team in football can shock the football world. Like we almost saw tonight, which was almost the case tonight. Well, in this case, it's any given Thursday, but y'all get it. Any given Sunday. And it was looking like Buffalo Bills was about to lose to Tua Tagovailoa. Josh Allen about to lose to Tua Tagovailoa. The headlines, I could see it now. It was looking really bad. No one was expecting this. The Bills ended up winning by 10 points. They had a 12.5 spread. Not normal in the NFL. Everything is normally a little bit close, even when it's the division game. But in my mind, before the game started, the Miami Dolphins looking like trash. I was wondering how much effort would Josh Allen have to give to beat the Miami Dolphins, and he had to give everything he got. The Miami Dolphins. That says a lot about the Buffalo Bills. On the first drive, the Bills, on the first drive for the Bills, the Dolphins defense barely had any resistance against the Bills. James Cook ran how he wanted to. Josh Allen did what he wanted to. And I don't understand why would Mike McDaniels and Chris Greer put together a team and think it's cool to line up and play in NFL games against NFL competition with the talent they put together on that defense. They can't stop no one. That defense is horrible. But hey, they did all right tonight. I don't know if it was the defense or was it just Josh Allen.
Man, they definitely did a good job today because they had a chance to take the lead when they got that 3 and out. But you know what happened on the punt? What was his name?
You got
ran into that, and that basically like was the game changer right there. Even though Tua did have another chance to go down and tie it, but right there they had that 3 and out. Man, they had the momentum. They get the ball back. They had a chance to go take the lead. Man, I was like, yeah, okay.
That happens a lot in games, man. Most of the competitive games every week they come down to the last 7-8 minutes of the game, and it might end up coming off a turnover. It just depends on when you have the opportunity to seal the deal, tie it up. You have to figure it out, and that was the issue tonight. I think Tua got a little too comfortable thinking his little intermediate routes would just be open, and boom, voila, it wasn't open. But Tua started off the game looking like 2023 Tua, along with the offensive coordinator, head coach, whatever you want to call him, Mike McDaniels, his play call. During that first drive, the first series, it looked like 2023 Miami Dolphins, Tua Tagovailoa was back. But we all know opening series, the first drive, is the 15-play script. So that's when you're going to get the best from that offense, you know. But on the next drive, Tua started to look like the 2025 Tua, missing the running back on a wide open option route, and then he fumbled the snap, forced the Dolphins to punt. Didn't even give the Dolphins a chance. I started to build my the words up to talk my shit. I was building up, boy. I was about to come on here and give it to the Dolphins. But hey, man, they're making changes. That's what life is about. Sports is about. When adversity hits, how do you respond? How do you respond? Or do you fold and lay back and lay down? And I didn't see that from the Dolphins tonight. I can't really say that, you know.
Yeah,
But like you said, Dries, go ahead.
No, I would just say it was definitely way more effort than we seen in the first 2 weeks. Even like with trying to block the punt, I mean, that was like effort, even though like it's kind of like a bonehead move. Make sure honestly, I feel like they should have played it safe, make sure they ain't doing no fake, because it was a short third. I mean, it was a short fourth down, but going at third, he showed effort on that play, even though he made a big mistake, which gave Josh Allen the ball and gave him a chance to get 7 more points. But it was way more effort than we've seen the past 2 weeks from the Dolphins.
Yeah. I mean, you could be looking at it so many different type of ways if you're a coach, man. I want to go after them because I don't want to have to depend on my offense to score. They really can't get the rhythm that much. We're not scoring as as well as we want. So maybe we need to try to get the ball with better field position. So let's take this chance. So there's all type of things and scenarios going on in those type of situations. Hindsight is always going to be 2020. So now, like you mentioned earlier, man, Tua doesn't want to embrace his name, Mr. 123, that I gave him in 2023. I gave Tua this name in 2023. Hey, Tua, if you hear me out there, hey, man, let's go get this trademark, Mr. 123, and let's go get rich, man. Let's go get rich off this name, Mr. 123. Let's embrace it, baby. Make this 123 work and get to the Super Bowl, and it blows up. That's how it goes, you know. But Mr. 123, man, he thinks he's elite going through his progressions, talking about most of his yards come from his second and third read after he comes off of his first read. You know, Tua progressions is one receiver down the field and 2 different players out on screens. That's pretty much how his reads are. That's all he has to read. You have one option down the field. If you don't feel comfortable with the option down the field, he isn't open. Mike McDaniels has screens everywhere for him. And that's how Tua has to succeed, you know? So what's so elite about that? I want to know, you know? McDaniels understands Tua's weakness, and that's why the offense has so many screenplays called, because of Tua. So let's listen to Tua again. Beat his chest about him not being Mr. 123, him being able to make those progressions and hit the second and third read, because that's where most of his yards come from.
I got to talk to him after the game. Still got a lot of respect for him. I think if you look at the games where I have performed and done well, it's when I'm also getting off of my first read and, you know, progressing or going through the progressions, kind of like what my feed is, you know, telling me. So playing in that sense.
Sure, brother. Why can't we just embrace the Mr. 123, man? Why we can't embrace it? Let's just embrace the Mr. 123. It's called it. They go get a trademark, copyright, copywritten, patent, all those good things. Let's get us some Tua Tagovailoa shirts, Mr. 123. Hey, let's embrace it and have fun, man. That's all. It's the easiest way to go. Easy way to go. Everybody sees it. He knows everybody sees it. Talking about he don't have social media. He doesn't listen to the TV. He doesn't hear the noise out here. He tried to act like that was from his teammate Xavier Howard. Man, you heard me say this 2 years ago before the season started. Just like I said this season, there's no leadership in the front office. There's no leadership with Mike McDaniels. Chris Greer doesn't have a backbone. And now y'all starting to see. Everyone is starting to see, all the broadcasters and analysis, commentators, whatever you want to call it. Now everyone is piggybacking and want to talk about the head coach and the general manager at Miami Dolphins. Because say what needs to be said, gonna say it first.